Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind. My Deadlights.
Welcome to the Deadlights podcast mini. I'm your host, Minisode.
I'm Minnie Leslie.
I interrupted you. I'm Adam, the man of your dreams and nightmares, but mini.
Very mini
And
style.
which we bring you your mini episodes every week. Welcome, everybody.
Wow, what an introduction.
I know.
that was one for the ages. That was on the highlight reel for sure. Wow.
You burped in there too.
Yeah, there was a burp thrown in there.
Yeah.
Everything
Into
that
the
you could-
mic.
I burp when I'm interrupted. I don't know what else to do.
It had a little bit for everyone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow. Well, welcome to the Minisode. If you're still listening after all of that,
Wow.
thank you for sticking around.
Yay.
And today we're actually talking to our good friend Adam.
Well,
It's me.
The man of your dreams, nightmares, and sleeping
And
pills.
sleeping
And
pills.
also, he is the man of season 3, episode 4.
Yeah.
A very friendly podcast of ours.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And we kind of wanted to keep you around to talk about that. And just see what you think of podcasting and your podcast.
Okay.
In general, I guess. First question I have is, do you listen to podcasts?
Oh.
Ooh, does he?
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Very cool.
I've been listening to podcasts since high school. So 2017, 2018 was about when I first started listening to podcasts.
27.
Yeah.
You're in high school?
17.
Sorry, shoot. 2012, 2013.
Okay.
My bad.
There we go.
2012, 2013 was when I first started listening to podcasts. So I've been listening to podcasts for a decade now.
Very cool.
I really got into them when I was graduated high school and I was working in construction. I was doing hardwood floors, and a lot of in construction work, when you're working with big power machines, you've got your headphones, your ear protecting on. I could just throw some little headphones up in there and I could listen to a podcast while I was going, grinding some floor down. I listened to a lot of storytelling podcasts where people would tell actual stories. I listened to some audiobooks, and I listened to an old-timey radio show kind of podcast, and I listened to people reviewing things kinds of podcasts.
Did you ever listen to what was it? The Magic Lantern God damn it.
Magic Tavern?
Magic Tavern.
Yes, I did listen to the
Mhm.
Magic Tavern.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Oh, you also listen to Critical Role, the D&D.
I listened to that. I mostly watched that at
Mhm.
first. I listened to Thrilling Adventure Hour, which is the old-timey radio show. I listened
with
to
Paula
the Adventure
Tompkins.
Zone with the McElroy brothers, who are royalty among podcasts
Nice.
now. They are podcast royalty
I want
for
a
sure.
crown upon my head.
I've always loved podcasts ever since I was listening to them, and I thought this is such a great medium, and it's a thing that I feel very close to be able to even touch. And I was like, I could get there. I could have a podcast. Come on. I don't need people to support me that much. I don't need to convince someone that I'm good on radio. I don't need to audition. I can just be on a podcast.
Do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
You are the person that turned me into podcasts because I didn't know about them.
Bippity boppity boop.
You are now a podcast lover.
Mhm.
Now I am a podcast maker.
Oh.
And is
Um,
that part of why you like it so much, because you can have your own creativity and that part of you is part of that?
I think so. There's also the part of when it was hitting me and the kind of stories I was listening to. This was a thing that I could listen to actively while doing all my manual labor, while going places. I can fill my mind with these things almost through my entire day in between the tedious tasks that I have to do. And I can imagine big worlds. I can hear people tell stories. It really broadened my perspective of what a person can be and what a person can do. And it really made me think about how to tell a story and how to share one's self. And I thought, like, this is the form that I really loved, because the people that I kept hearing in multiple podcasts were very good at engaging with people that they're talking to. They were very good at being funny and fun and coming up with cool characters, and they were very good storytellers. And I thought that's why I felt so in touch with it. I wanted to be that just as much as I wanted to engage with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was season 3, episode 4 your first podcast venture?
No. Our first podcast venture was still with Lisa. Was an idea we came up with.
A really cool concept.
It was called Sequels, where we would improvise. We would watch a movie together, and then we would come and improvise a sequel to that movie.
Ooh.
Whether it had a sequel or not, we would just improvise it. So
Very cool.
The thing is, we did college improv together, but we did short form college improv together, not long form. So we would go to our college radio station to record our podcast and go on the live radio station and perform improv to random people listening to college radio for an hour. It was a terrible experience, I imagine. But that was our first idea for a podcast, and we recorded quite a couple of those. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
That's the important.
And we recorded it, and I think you can find it some places too.
Oh, I will
I think
try.
it's on Apple Podcasts. There's
If
only
I
like
find
3
it-
episodes.
Got to the clip. And we're back. That was good stuff.
Wow,
That was good
you
stuff.
and your friends were so funny. So
In
tell
college.
me a little bit more about this Lisa person.
That's who I do my podcast with. Season 3, episode 4.
The
We did
co-host.
improv in college together. I don't know why she loved podcasts. I think she just loved performing. And I was very excited about podcasts. Or maybe she has her own podcast journey.
I bet she does.
I bet she does.
We'll get her in here one day
Mhm.
and
Yes.
force her to watch one of these movies.
She will hate it.
We'll hate it,
She
but-
hates
Hate it.
horror.
We'll
I
be able to
mean-
learn her podcast journey.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I mean, if we pick a Halloween movie, she will be
She
here.
loves Halloween.
Okay,
She loves
that's good to
Halloween.
know. That's good to know.
But yeah, just a person that I found who I thought my conversations with this person are always exciting and fun. And I thought, hey, I would love to talk with this person for an hour about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about, I mean, why do you two? At what point did you decide, hey, we two should have a podcast together? Why did you decide on each other to do this project with?
Because I think after the 31 Days of Horror,
Mhm.
we were like, I love this concept. I personally love coming here to this house with and meeting everybody from PGS.
You did it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like a buttload of fun. And after 2 weeks of not doing it, we were like, we have to start it up again. We had
Yeah.
so much fun.
And I think that was kind of like, I guess it just worked out in that way because I wasn't really thinking about that when we started doing the 31 days at all, or even the idea that it would go beyond October.
Mhm.
So within those 31 days of us doing it over and over and over again, I think it kind of just became clear that, I mean, all of us can talk about movies and miniseries and shows in a really fun and I think exciting way. So it kind of just seemed natural. It just happens, I guess.
It just
Yeah.
kind of
It just
And you
happens. Yeah.
also, it's wonderful because I mean, I know you and I know Lisa very personally. And you two in a room are just full of life, and I love listening to what you guys have to say, individually and together. So I think it's the connections, right, that we find. And when you're genuinely interested in something that no one else tends to really like, you're just like looking at the other person like the Spider-Man meme and being like, you too? You know, like, you like horror? And seeing movies together is just so much better. Like I've mentioned over and over again. So I think that's what like got me. And yeah.
And it is a little, I mean, it kind of goes back to what you were talking about before with the people that you originally listened to on these podcasts were essentially people that you wanted to be like and you wanted to be friends with. And so I think that is a little bit, that's the cool part of podcasts is you kind of feel like you can get to know these people on a more personal level and share something together, whether you know that person personally or not. Like we can all connect over something. So why season 3, episode 4?
The big question.
The big question.
The big
why?
question. No reason.
Okay.
Basically,
End
no
of episode.
It sounded good. Weren't you guys thinking about like season 4, episode 3, or like season 3, episode like 5?
Well, I guess more so like why TV too? Like what was the idea of just picking an episode of TV and TV in general? Why were you guys settled on that?
Well, I love a couple of podcasts that does this format of watch something and talk about it. One of the ones that does movies that I really love is How Did This Get Made? Which is people approaching something and just watching a thing, taking it in, usually a poorly made thing or like a crazily made thing, and just being like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was going on? And
one really great person that's on there is
Jason Mantzoukas. Paul Scheer is on it. June Diane Raphael. All really great TV people that right now. Check them out. Check them all out. They're all very great and very funny.
Like, look at them up and down.
And they're all in Big Mouth. You'll find them in Big Mouth. The other podcast that I really, truly love was Buffering the Vampire Slayer. We've talked about Buffy before. I loved the show Buffy. I loved this show Buffering, and they go episode by episode, talk about a thing. So I really loved the idea of approaching something and being in a land of mystery and just being like trying to figure out what the deal was about a thing. But I also loved watching something every week and it not being a full, hour and a half. And just the idea of, what if I watch a random episode of a TV show and then just find like a consistency between them. Season 3, episode 4 I kind of chose season 3 because in Buffy, season 3 is when it gets good. Is when it gets good.
Oh, yeah. It's when Angel goes evil.
Yeah. I couldn't even make it. I think we made it to season 2, right? You were really trying.
Season 2 when it gets like hot and heavy. With Angel and Buffy. Season 3 is when all hell breaks.
We have it. I think it was just like maybe the 5th episode.
Yeah. I don't know if we did finish season 1. I think we did finish season 1. Yeah, we are in season 2. Yeah, season 3, I loved a bunch. And episode 4, I mean, we say kind of one of our taglines is it's late enough in the show to be good and early enough in the season to make sense. And that's like a post, that's like an explanation after the fact of a random choice.
Yes.
It truly was, at the end of the day, let's be as random as possible, but have some consistency in our randomness. Let's just choose one episode and jump around for different
I do love
TV
the
shows.
fact that it's, it flows. It's season 3, episode 4. Like, I don't know, when you're counting, 3 comes after 4.
3, 4, yeah. Makes it easy to remember.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
So like season 2, episode 2, like season 1, episode 2 doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 3, too early.
Yeah,
And
too early in the show.
You have to find shows that are, at least 3 seasons long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty incredible. I love the concept.
And you can have miniseries and stuff, or like shows that have like 8 episode seasons or even 6 episode seasons. You'll still be able to get in there. Not every show has a 21 episode season.
Mm-hmm.
So like season 3, episode 4, you could get, there's a much broader amount of TV shows that do that.
Yes.
And
you have plenty to pick from.
Plenty to pick from.
Yeah.
And there are incredible shows that we'll never be able to do, like Firefly. Sorry. Can't do that. Can't do that. There's only one season of
It's
that.
part of the deal, though.
Yeah, can't do Twin Peaks. Only 2 seasons of that. Sorry. That's it.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite season 3, episode 4 episodes that you guys have reviewed so
Ooh,
far?
good question.
So that's like, it's hard to say that because you know how there's like movies that you've watched that you've really loved, but the episode isn't necessarily your favorite episode that you've recorded. And there's, that's huge. There's like, there's episodes of our podcast where the podcast was so much fun and the episode of the show was like, I don't fucking know or remember. But like, I really loved watching The Joy of Painting. And I thought trying to make that into a podcast episode and see it as a narrative was so much fun. And just interacting with Lisa in a way where we are surprised about moves painted painting is a joy. It's so much fun to be like, Andy put a tree there. So much fun. One of my favorite things.
I would love to see that notebook.
Yeah.
Watch along notebook. Oh, another tree.
Another tree. A tree. God.
Oh, he went back to clouds.
Yeah.
What the?
It was a crazy episode of Bob Ross. I gotta tell you, it was like, y'all should seek it out. It was nuts. Apparently, it was the first time he was painting on a black background instead of a white background.
Whoa.
And near the end, he does this thing where he's painted a cabin, and then near the very end, he puts a tree in the foreground in front of the cabin.
Just covers that cabin.
Covers the cabin. A thing he spent time painting.
He knows the guy there.
Layers.
What?
Like an onion.
Oh my God.
Bob, you're so deep.
Yeah,
So
Bob Ross. And that's a show that like I wouldn't necessarily go to and investigate, or like think about as I'm watching. I would like every time I've ever watched a Bob Ross episode, it was like, oh, I'm just watching fun. Oh, he's making a painting. Oh, this is nice. It's a painting. But then having to apply the like, what is happening? Who is being changed? Where is this development going?
Did
Concept.
anyone die?
Did anyone die?
What happened in that cabin?
Yeah.
Who lived in that cabin
Asking
in the woods?
questions about a thing like that, so much fun.
Yeah.
So that one is a top one. One of the other shows that I thought was really good was The Good Place, and Evil. Both of those are the 2 shows that I've watched, and then I go back and watch the entirety of the show after having just watched season 3, episode 4. So sometimes you'll find something that's like so good that it draws you in.
Yeah.
From that one episode.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Mhm.
That is really cool. And a testament to those filmmakers and those storytellers that they're able to capture you just in one episode that you have little to no idea what's going on. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't know if you all have done a thing, but I would very frequently when I would start shows like Lost, I never watched season 1 of Lost, but then I watched all of the other seasons of Lost. So, like just jumping in.
Last night, I actually, because I watched the first 6 seasons of The Walking Dead, like when it was coming out.
Yeah.
So years ago. And then I never just didn't continue for some reason. And then last night, I just saw it on Netflix. I was like, you know what? I'll just pick it up again. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And it was the episode. Did you guys watch any of it?
I did.
I didn't.
It was episode with Negan and the bat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God.
No.
It was like one of the most brutal episodes
Yeah.
of television in general that I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm really jumping back into this. Jesus Christ.
And that's
a
so
man's
much
eye
fun.
just popped out.
Oh.
Yeah, it was wild.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh.
It was,
His bed is filled with barbed wire,
Cool.
Yeah.
and he
That's cool.
Really,
murders.
really bad. Really
That's
bad.
really cool.
Yeah, it was
But
like
then
the
his
first.
murder's also really fucking.
Well, good. I don't know
Oh,
what's
sorry.
going on.
Oh,
I just started the
no.
7th season, so
Megan, the actor, plays the dad of the Supernatural Boys. So that's
Oh,
fun.
nice.
The actor who plays Megan
Oh,
plays
you're
the
right.
dad
He
of
does.
the Supernatural Boys.
Yes.
Supernatural
He
boys.
is an evil motherfucker in that.
hmm
So
Oh,
back to
yeah.
season 3, episode 4. One more time.
Yeah.
Is there a show that you haven't reviewed yet that's like really high on
Mhm.
your wish list, your watch list?
hmm
Mm,
A lot of people ask if we've done
excuse me.
Game of Thrones.
Okay.
A lot of people suggest doing like The Office, and I feel like these are big heavy hitters
Sure.
that need like have a lot of weight.
Mm.
But the show that I wanted to do most and wanted to give the most value to was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and for that one we had both my mom and we had my
I have a
mom and
girlfriend.
Lisa's girlfriend on, and we talked about that show. Very important to all of us, and that was very satisfying to have. But I honestly look forward to any show that I know nothing about. That's my favorite thing, is to watch a show I know nothing
And
about.
Y'all just started dipping your toe in reality TV, right?
That seems like
I
it's gonna be
mean,
fun.
reality TV is the largest ocean I could ever fathom of as far as genre.
Because you do not watch any.
I watch zero reality TV
Nothing.
other than Great British Baking Show,
Oh, and the Pottery Showdown.
Great
Oh, of
Pottery
course.
Showdown,
The greatest
Throwdown, and that's
Throwdown.
the only like
Shut
reality.
And those are more like competition shows.
Competition
Mhm.
shows.
When we're talking about like reality show, we're
Yeah.
talking like trash.
Jersey
Which-
Shore,
Right. Which I'm
Real
fully-
Housewives.
I'm fully about.
Yeah.
Grew up with a younger sister that watched all of that, and
Yeah.
so inevitably, I got sucked in a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah,
I love reality.
I mean
It's
during the
terrible.
during the
I
pandy,
can't.
we watched America's Next Top Model. That sucked me in.
It
That
sucks you
sucked me
in.
in. We watched seasons and seasons of that
Well,
thing.
we gotta watch the
Drama.
next episode.
Yeah, I think we. What season was it? There was
Probably
a
like 8
scene,
or something.
or there was like a season where there was a girl that was getting bullied because she was not eating, and instead of like helping her, they would just be like, kind of talking trash about her behind her back. It was like so toxic.
Yeah, I feel like the whole idea of the show is pretty toxic
Yeah,
in general.
Oh,
Because you
yeah.
had talking heads, and like they would be forced to say stuff, because if they didn't, they would keep them there and be like, no, we're gonna draw something from you.
We're keeping you in this room.
We're keeping you here.
You're not getting any cheese.
You're not getting
today.
paid.
No
That's
cheese.
the whole point of your job. This is your job.
This is
Don't
your
you want to
job.
be here?
Don't you want it?
Don't you want it? Don't you want it?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have, with reality TV and just TV in general, you have a massive, massive catalog of
Mhm.
things, different things to choose from. And sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I
moving
mean,
through it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the bucket, just like you have a bucket that is endless, that you keep you keep getting suggestions. I keep giving suggestions.
True.
And your bucket is filling up. It's such an
Fun.
exciting thing to be at this stage where like there's so much of this world to explore,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just take this sliver of it and try and understand at least that. And my sliver is season 3, episode 4.
So niche. I love it.
Love it. Love
where
it.
can people find you?
Just
The pod.
season 3, episode 4. The words are words, the numbers are numbers. You'll find it on Instagram. You'll find the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher. You can find us on the website Anchor. That's where you can stream it from, or Acast. Wherever you find
Nice.
podcasts, wherever you search for podcasts,
You're
you'll find
there?
us. You'll find us there.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you, Adam,
Yeah.
again for joining us in the space.
Yeah,
You'll be back.
I'm back.
Oh
You'll be
yeah.
back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see you later in the season.
Cool.
I'm sure.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. This is super fun.
Let's get out of here. Huh,
All right.
Leslie?
Okay. You can also find me everywhere.
Everywhere.
Underneath your
Everywhere.
bed, in your closet,
Wherever.
On your roof, because I'm helping you tile it up.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
To help
Yeah.
prepare for Santa.
Yeah, Santa Claus needs a bigger hole because he like got a little bit bigger.
Oh,
Yeah,
in the off season.
I know.
Yeah. So where can they find you?
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Color me, Leslie.
That's where it is.
And
yeah.
and me at Beep Beep Richie T, and also us at the Deadlights Pod.
Yes.
That's cool.
Please check out Playground Social. This is the studio that we're recording this at. We're all fucking up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking-
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Any burps to give?
Let's end it.
Until next time, ladies and
Belch.
gentlemen and non-binary